Sagittarius, what's good, gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. I always get stoked when I get to read for Sagittarius because it's just such a fun energy to be in. So hopefully I can give you some good love messages here. This is what I call my Lil Sips Love Tarot reading, just a mini temperature check, checking in on the energies of you and your person. The Emperor wanted to be seen, so some of you might be dealing with an Aries. I actually think that was a random message for one or two of you because the way it came out, it was just like this one. And something about a Scorpio. So it could potentially be an ending with an Aries, or it could be a Scorpio that you work with career-wise. This is actually a card from a deck that doesn't belong, which is always a fun little treat to see how that snuck in there. I'm going to keep that aside. That might come into play later. But anyway, as I'm reading your tarot cards already, general messages here on YouTube, guys. Not everything I say will resonate with all of the Sagittarians out there. What else do I need to tell you? Welcome you to come into this with an open heart and an open mind. If something feels strange or foreign, please release those messages. Don't take it on as your energy, as your person's energy. Do be open to being illuminated to new messages or something perhaps you didn't see or feel before. That frequently is what tarot helps us to do. But yeah, feel free to shelf some messages too. If it doesn't resonate now, it might later on. That, again, frequently how tarot comes to resonate in our lives. It's not always instantaneous, though we would like it to be, right? All right, that's my spiel. Everything else you want to know, down in the box below. The decks I'm using here today, my social media channels, I'm the Intuitive Teacup, Facebook, Instagram.com. If you'd like to book a personal, go ahead and check that out. If not, I'm here for you guys on YouTube. All right, let's read these cards, baby. Bottom of your deck, interesting. I just did Libra. They have the exact same card, which is a Libra card at the bottom of their deck. This can have to do with contracts. It can have to do with like business deals, having to make a difficult judgment call or decision, especially if someone is offering you an apology. You might not be sure if you buy it or you believe it. Potentially a group of people. It could be a family. Again, it could be a group of people you work with. Sometimes it can be a card of marriage, but again, a very strong card of Libra, particularly if you're dealing with a male air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is coming through. And yes, Scorpio wants to be seen again. It doesn't have to be a Scorpio, but I mean, the death card is, it does talk about endings. It's usually not literal death, right? Frequently it does talk about regeneration, leaving behind what isn't serving us. Most importantly to me, the death card is about leaving behind what isn't serving you and embracing that next cycle in your life. Because it's like, he's got his war attire. That's not how you say it. His battle armor. There we go. He's got his battle armor on. It's indicating you're coming out of a struggle or you're coming out of something that was like a fight to the death. But ultimately with this card, it's saying it's pretty much over. So in a sense, sometimes the death card is like cut your losses. It's not always an ending that is easy, but it's about embracing the future and optimism. And I mean, from the death card comes temperance, which is all about healing, right? And that's your card. So this says to me, even if this was just a minor loss or something that, it didn't quite go right. Again, that positive Sagittarius optimistic energy, you're coming into your own again. You're coming into your highest power and your highest good. And there is going to be an offer coming your way, particularly regarding money, or if you've been wanting to travel or something about flight, the ability to, maybe it's freedom. The ability to take flight is coming in for you. So you may end up, I don't know if you've been talking with someone overseas or online or something, you may have the ability to move towards them or go towards them. An opportunity regarding flight. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but that will mean something to some of my Saggies out there. Let's look at your person's energy. Your person is nervous. That's what I'm getting. Your person is anxious because they're not sure if you're going to flip them out of the cup. They're not sure if you have feelings for them or they're not sure. There's a lot of uncertainty about where you lie emotionally. And it's making them uncomfortable. They're trying to anticipate your next move and they can't. There's a lot of confusion. They're asking for messages. They're probably spying on you. But they're not doing it in a graceful way. It's sort of like, again, they're in panic mode, I think, because they don't want to lose you. And in a sense, they're willing to fight to the death for you. But they're doing it in a very harsh, brash way. Like their emotions are getting the best of them. They need to like recenter themselves and be very, very calm. And there's the fear of flight. They're worried. I don't know if they're worried you're going to leave them, or quite literally, right, during this pandemic. I hate to say the word, right? They could be worried about you physically getting on an airplane and jeopardizing your health. There could be something about that. Yeah, a lot of them are worried about an ending, a difficult or painful ending with you. And yeah, again, the Nine of Voices, that is my severe anxiety card, like sleepless nights. They're worried that you've changed your mind, that your heart isn't in the same place that it was. They want to embrace you. The thing is, they're trying to keep calm, but they're not succeeding at it. It's not like they're trying to be over emotional and paint you into a corner. They're not trying to be argumentative with you, but in a sense they are. And if they're not communicating with you about this, it's almost like this sounds weird, but stick with me. They're argumentative internally. It's like their mind is racing 1,000 miles a minute, and it's almost like their thoughts are contradicting themselves. It's like, I love them so much, but why are they doing this and they're an asshole? Like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like they're internally off kilter or off balance. That's why Justice, this Libra energy, is coming in, because they need to like recalibrate their scales. They're going through it. And so I feel for your person. I don't necessarily sense that they're trying to be a jerk, but they're very fearful of losing you, which to that I guess I would say, well, what's up with that codependency, right? And again, I don't mean to offend the cross watchers, and this could be your energy too. Sometimes it goes vice versa, but they need to be strong on their own, the way the Queen of Swords is. You know, she makes intelligent decisions based on the information she has around her. But it's made with logic, with the brain, with intelligence. It's not this upswell of emotion. She can be very cold and she can be very blunt, but she makes decisions that she sees as truthful, as fair, as just. And there is a divine pairing here. So this may be someone you're already married to, especially with those coming up in the order that they did. A lot of air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, so Sagittarius, and the Knight. You almost got like a little family here, like, and I don't mean to make it gender specific. I'm just saying for argument's sake, like mom, dad, and child, it could certainly be a same-sex couple. But interesting, you're all being presented as the sword suit. So I'm almost going to take that to mean everyone is really stuck in their head about something, or at least your person. It could be that they're fighting to have you embrace them and the child, or something like that. Let's hop into your energy and see. But yeah, I do get the idea that at some point in time, if this hasn't happened already, and it might be coming to a head, there is going to be a disagreement or like an argument with Knight of Swords. I mean, look at that depiction of it too. Acts on impulse, doesn't always think things through the way maybe the Queen or the King would, right? This person is searching for loyalty, and I think that's what you're searching for too, but I'm already sensing that you're having doubts. You have 2 cards, Sagittarius, indicating singlehood, major Virgo energy. I don't know if any of you have Virgo in your chart, but in your head, you really like your independence. And that might be why this person is feeling left out. I mean, and this could literally be someone you're married to. Again, take what resonates for your story, but it could just be that you're just like a free spirit and you don't want to do everything in partnership. You like having that breathability to do what you feel and what you want. I don't know why this message is coming through. It sounds so cheesy, but I'm going to say it anyway. You don't ever view yourself as alone, because there's such a strong connection to source and spirituality for you. Even when you're off, whatever you're doing, Sagittarius, taking a walk in the woods or off, I don't know, whatever, shopping on your own, you feel such strong connection to your faith and your spirituality that I'm almost getting, again, only if it applies to you, you're having conversations in your head like with your spirit guides. So it's almost like even when you're alone, you're not completely in solitude, because again, there's just such a strong connection to source and faith. You feel like there's, like you might be going through like a spiritual awakening where you're really involved in talking to your spirit guides, or thinking about ancestors, particularly people of the past in your family's history who have passed on. You have such a strong connection to them, even if you're not verbally talking. It's like you carry them around in your heart. It's a very beautiful message, but all the more need for you to disconnect from like people in the 3D and be on your own, because it seems like you're working something out, and it is for your best and highest good. Muse of Inspiration, that's King of Wands. So whether you're male or female, that is your card. Again, that's you vibing pretty high. A lot of you are really struggling, like a power struggle with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And there is a difficult decision that either you're avoiding or if it's not that you're avoiding it, you're delaying it, not because you don't want to deal with it, you simply just don't know what you're going to choose yet. And I think that's why this is coming through. I think you're asking God for help, or again, spirit, source, whatever your divine wisdom or counterparts are. It's almost like you're really struggling with what your intuition is telling you to do, specifically regarding a person or a situation involving a child. I mean, some of you could have found out there was a pregnancy, whether it was you or your partner or something of the sort. It could even have to do with adoption, bringing someone else into your family. You're really struggling with that, and I do think you're asking your guides for help. There's a person you like and you see a stable future with them, and yet you're still not certain. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I just got to pause my phone. I'm so sorry about that, Sagittarius. My phone went off. Anyway. You have your back turned to someone, and you also have your face, or you're also facing someone too. But there's a heavy energy. So this could potentially be talking about romantic options. Some of you may be considering leaving a long-term partner, a husband, a wife, someone who at one point in time you viewed as wish fulfillment, but you're having doubts or you're questioning it. You're wondering if, in metaphor, the seeds you have planted together, if they're truly going to blossom into what it is that you wanted. You're wondering who to invest your emotions in. Yeah, there's a lot of deep, deep questions. Again, seeking spiritual guidance. You may have gone to a tarot reader. A lot of you are keeping someone waiting on your decision because you don't want to hurt them. You're trying to spare their feelings. But you're not confronting it directly. And again, for some of you, it's because you haven't really decided yet. Others of you are taking aim elsewhere. Again, flight, travel. You're wanting to move away from someone who's very stuck. It could be someone who refuses to transition into a new chapter with you. It could be someone who quite literally doesn't want to move, doesn't want to travel. Maybe your business is needing to move across the state, across the country, whatever, and this person is saying, no, I don't want to go there. I want to stay here. That could be a point of argument, a point of contempt. Gosh, now you have the whole sword suit. You have the whole family. You have the King and Queen of Swords. You have the Knight of Swords. And you have the Page of Swords. It's a lot of decisions, a lot of heavy decisions, people being very stuck in their head. And I'm not saying that in a bad sense. It's just, it seems like there's a struggle with the decision making. Something about two different children. You may each have a child from this, from a different marriage, from a separate relationship. You definitely are trying to do, if a child is involved, you're trying to do what's best for the child. If there's no child involved, it's that you're honoring your inner child. It's honoring what you wanted in your youth, or you're not wanting to compromise your future and necessarily merge a situation. There's more singlehood or independence in your path right now. Even if that means having to leave something behind, and you view them as very stubborn, unwavering, inflexible. It could be a Pisces or a Libra that you're dealing with. This person who's very nervous about the decision, where is Sagittarius at? I mean, quite frankly, I don't think you know either. I think you're still trying to work it out in your mind. But Sagittarius, it seems like there's someone interested in you. Again, very strong Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, you don't know. The spread is not telling me. Look at this card. Talk about the duality, this way or that way, this person or that person, this city or that city, this job or that job. There's a lot of decision making, and I think it actually feels like you're very overwhelmed, like you just want to escape. And maybe you're going on some sort of trip to bring you clarity and illumination. You could be going on some sort of spiritual retreat to really connect with God. And something about the mother of your child too. I am getting father, mother, and child here. So even if that's not your situation now, it could be that you're considering a future with someone, but you're not certain about committing to it, or you're not certain how it would affect your job. You are very strong-headed, but yeah, you have to go with your gut. You have to go with what your passion, where your passion lies, and what your gut is telling you. Some of you may be staying in a relationship because the sex is good, but your heart isn't really invested in it. And that, I'm getting, is what your person is worried about. Yeah, they don't know what you're going to do. There's a lot of change coming into your life right now, extreme change. It's not necessarily bad. It's not a tower moment. In fact, it's fortuitous. It's fate. It's destiny. It's new cycles. But with that, there may need to be a sacrifice of something that you're willing to leave behind. I don't know if that's a job or a person or a house. That's up to you to decide, but I'm not getting much clarity on your end. I'm very much getting your person, your people, your family. They're on the edge of their seat wondering. And you know that, but it's actually adding a lot more anxiety to your plate because you know there's some sort of important decision to make, but you might not be on the same page currently with your person. That's sort of what I'm getting. I think a lot of you are going to go off and wander. You're going to go on some sort of adventure. You're going to explore. You're going to travel. Again, that whole spiritual retreat is very important, even if that's a metaphor. Some of you need to unplug from the people in your life, even if it's temporary, to really center yourself, to ground yourself so that you can make a decision based in ultimate truth. You have to follow your own internal guidance system. So I think that's what you're being called to do. It does have to do with either your coworkers or romantically who you want to work with. There could be some third-party energy here. Yeah, with the Lovers card, some Gemini energy is wanting to come through. You may be traveling to go see a Leo or heal a relationship with a Leo or a Gemini. All right, Sagittarius, that's what I got for you. Please like, share, subscribe. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.